We decide what is right and what is an illusion. Good morning. Today is 2019, October 16th, Wednesday, 10 o'clock a.m. in the morning, San Francisco time. Good morning, DP. Welcome to another episode of Sound Talk Show. So I have some topics set up for you guys. If you have any questions or comments or topics you want me to talk about, type in the chat. Okay. Good morning, Liam. So I'm going to offer a Emacs technical tutorial, YouTube one-on-one. Good morning, Kathy. YouTube one-on-one tutorial on programming on Emacs or Emacs Lisp from the ground up, or JavaScript for beginner or JavaScript in depth. So I'm going to do that for $100 for 3 hours. Now, if you do that, I'm going to guarantee you. For example, let's say Emacs Lisp. You're going to learn Emacs Lisp. You're gonna be an expert after 3 hours. Or JavaScript, raw JavaScript in depth. So I'm going to offer that. So if you like to do that, ping me, email me, or talk to me on Twitter or anywhere else, and we can do that. This is one-on-one tutorial on video. So that is that. And okay, so let's talk about random things today. I have several topics here. So again, if you like me to talk about something, just say it. Okay. Now let's go to Gulliver's Travels. Okay, exciting code map. Gulliver's Travels. So let's search all links I have on this project to Google Maps. Okay, so search Google. Okay, search Google. Enter not Google Analytics, map. Okay, so map. Okay, so actually search for maps.google.com. Do it again. Search that. Okay, so all these are links to Google Maps. There are about 20 of them. So let's look at the first one. Showing browser. Oh, okay, this one is commented out. So this is about East Indies. Search for East Indies. Okay, so there is my annotation. Oops, hold on a second. Good morning, Abdul. Good morning to Egypt. Good morning, Kathy, to London. And Liam W. Where are you from, Liam? Are you the Liam I know? And good morning to DP to Germany. Okay, so Gulliver's Travels. So there is East and the West Indies. Now this is my annotation. East and West Indies. Liam is from London. Okay, great. East and West Indies. It means East Indies means Indonesia. The term is sometimes used to refer to all of Southeast Asia. Historically, it refers chiefly to India. Okay, so you have Wikipedia article and you have Google Maps. So you have East Indies and West Indies. Now let's look at Google Maps. JavaScript. Okay, turn it on. Where is Bartholomew? So we have here East Indies. Let's see. Shrink. Why is it not showing anything? Shrink. Okay. Okay, finally. Oh, wait. Is this correct even? I thought it's India. So here, what is this place? What country is this? Philippines. Oh, Indonesia, right. So, okay, so anyway, so that is that Gulliver's Travels. And let's look at this West Indies. Now these are old jargons. Oh, West Indies is Caribbeans. Why is Google not showing West Indies? Indeed. West Indies in Cuba. Okay, yeah. So wow. So East Indies and West Indies, they are far apart. They are just not east and west of one place. So West Indies is like in Cuba. So anyway, that's I wanted to show the Google Maps links because at some place in Gulliver's Travels they mentioned the Alluvian Islands. Uh, let's see if I can find it. So located at southern island of Japan, south of Korea. So this is Gulliver's Travels to Japan. Let's search for Cape of Good Hope. That's on the tip of Africa. So lots of places. Leeward Island. So Leeward Islands, Guinea, Cape of Good Hope, Leiden. I'm not sure what is that. Southeast of Amsterdam. Okay, New Guinea and Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the city of prostitutes. That's how that's what that is my impression of it, because every time I read about it, it's something about that. Amsterdam. So let's search AMS. Okay, where is that? A city in the Netherlands. Leiden. Okay. On the 9th day of June, 1707, I arrived at Nagasaki. After a very long and troublesome journey, I soon fell into the company of some Dutch sailors belonging to the Amboina of Amsterdam, a stout ship of 450 tons. I have lived long in Holland, pursuing my studies at Leiden, and I spoke Dutch well. Okay, this Gulliver's Travels, there are a lot seafaring jargons. Sales, this is 300 years ago, so they were traveling around the world. That's a big thing. The Westerners exploring the Earth. So DP says, I wish Google hadn't deleted Panoramio. Oh, they deleted it? I didn't know. Panoramio is like a panorama website. So many geolocated images lost, like tears in the rain. Yeah, Google started to do all sort of things. So let's look at this map. This is supposed to be Amsterdam. Oh, busy, very busy. Let's look. Let's shrink, zoom out. Leiden. Okay, the city Leiden. fascinating places of the world. The world is a big place. On the other hand, you could also say it's a small place. The world is pretty small. Amsterdam. That's the flexibility and imprecision of English, because you could say something that's semantically opposite, yet it means something. You could, either way you say it's true. For example, you could say, politics is truly complex. A lot of people will nod their heads. Or you could say politics is truly simple, and a lot of people will nod their heads. You see, because the interpretation is entirely a different thing. So anyway, here is Amsterdam, Holland, Netherlands. I don't know anything about that. But okay, so Amsterdam. But every time you hear it, it's about drugs or prostitutes. That is what the place is known for. That is what the media say about it all the time. Certain countries, you have certain associations. The reason the association came up because it's dramatic. That's just what people say about it. For example, Germany, oh, it's Nazi. Okay. And BMW and nice engineering. German people, they have always great engineering. Yes, German people, they are great engineers. They produce great things, cars and stuff. Uh, so Nuremberg, Germany, where I live, is supposed to have more sex workers than Amsterdam due to lenient legislation. Oh, where is Nuremberg? Nuremberg. How do you pronounce that? Nuremberg. So where is that? I gotta go there. Okay, here. And Kathy says Amsterdam adult Disneyland. Okay, so that's Gulliver's Travels. It's actually the Gulliver's Travels is fairly boring. Okay, close that. Gulliver's Travel is fairly boring. I read it. Oh yeah, so I was talking about they are seafaring. These Gullivers traveling around the earth, and many of these places is not real. Half of it is real, half of it is not real, and sometimes they give the wrong uh, coordinate or wrong names, or fantasy. It's a fantasy. So, for example, they have one place called Laputa. Okay, Laputa, which in Spanish is like it means prostitute or pussy, something like that. I forgot. Laputa, the land of Laputa. So let's look. And it became famous. It became a meme, Laputa. Okay, because it's an island of floating islands. So let's turn on. One thing very annoying about DuckDuckGo search engine is that if you have JavaScript off, like right now I have JavaScript off, you search something, and but I want to do image search, but there is no button that you go to image search. So what you have to do is you have to turn on JavaScript. First of all, you turn on JavaScript. Okay. Normally, for example, on Google search, after you turn on JavaScript, then you can go to image. Actually, you don't have to turn on JavaScript in order to search images. But in DuckDuckGo, okay, you want to do image search. There's no link to it. Then you turn on JavaScript. There's still no link to it. There is no way for you to navigate around. Then go to the image search after you turn on JavaScript. There's no way. Well, there's one way. Like you go all the way to the DuckDuckGo home website, and there is still none. Okay. Then you click on the logo. You go to About. Then you scroll all the way down to the DuckDuckGo homepage again. You still cannot do it. Basically, you have to type your search word again. Truly annoying. Laputa. This is one of the interface design issue. Many corporations, they are just idiotics. They're just idiots. Okay, so you see now you type the search phrase again. Now you have, you see, images. So now we click on images. Laputa. Oh Jesus, shit. Save search. Save search. Wow, let's not do. Okay, save search. Okay, Laputa, you have to. Shit. Now I. What do I do with that? Now Google is gonna censor me. And this is live. So I have to edit the video afterwards. Oh God, that's gonna be hours. I haven't done that before. Um, Laputa. So I wanted to show the flying island. You see, yeah, it's very annoying, that thing. Google censorship. Google image via direct URL manipulation address bar and Bing image via form. Well, yeah, you are saying using direct URL, but that's more work because once you type it, you have to edit. That's more work. Of course, another option is just I can write scripts in Emacs, but the point is just more work. So anyway, right now I want to show the flying island of from the meme Laputa, but now it's just going to show me Pong. But I can turn safe search on strict. But if I click images, some Pong images will go pass through. Maybe I don't want to do that. Very annoying. This is annoying for several reasons because, well, mostly because censorship and the attitude towards Pong. And meanwhile, it's going crazy. It's anyway. So Wikipedia has an article Laputa. So it came from Gulliver's Travels. So this is supposed to be this flying island, and it becomes very popular because this floating island, it's in Gulliver's Travels, he visited this place, and they have floating island. It's near the end. I think it's near the end of. Okay, this is my. Let's go to Sali Gulliver's Travels because this is my local file, which does not have JavaScript. And you cannot turn on JavaScript in Brave for local files. So you have to go to my website. So near the end, I think it's one of these places, part 3, a voyage to Laputa. Oh, Laputa there. So one of Laputa. It's a place where technology is beyond humans' technology. So it's very highly advanced. But anyway, he's writing this. There it is. Some of the here's a castle in the sky. Laputa, this Japanese anime version. So it became a theme, a meme. Today you call it a meme, where you have a lot comics or animations talking about this place. But originally, if you read the Gulliver's Travels, it's Gulliver's Travels is sarcasm. Sarcasm, is is said to be the best sarcasm in English literature. So anyway, Gulliver's Travels. Uh, okay, I'm pissed off about that phone showing through because now I'm not sure what to do with the video because I have to edit it. Um, uh, I have to edit it, but that's gonna be like 2 hours or something to do that. to just remove that 1 second clip. But also, I mean, even before I edited, Google is gonna have, they have algorithms. They're gonna scan everything, so they might flag me for something truly annoying. The situation we are in, fuck Google. And also this, the social mentality towards Pong, and anyway. So anyway, that's Google Maps about Gulliver's Travels. So let's go back. What else I was going to say? Yeah. So I was going to find. Um, Actually, I was going to find Google Maps. Let's do the search again. Google Maps. I was trying to find. There is this place called Alluvia Island. Okay, I do not see it here. Levant, Cornwall, UK, West Indies, East Indies. Okay, so let's search for ALLU. Okay, illusion, allured, illusion. Okay, let's search for ALU. Value, salutations, value. Okay, it's a whole bunch of value. Okay, let's search for space ALU. None. Okay, let's search for space capital ALU. None. Okay, so let's search for space ALLU. Illusion, allured. But anyway, in Gulliver's Travels, in one of the places, it points to nowhere on Earth. Like I'm gonna show you, it points to here. Like it points to here somewhere, somewhere here, and it's just wrong. Okay, because remember, this is 300 years ago. They don't have accurate map of the world. In fact, 300 years ago, I'm not sure the West Europeans have landed on America yet. So DP says, Gulliver, political polemics, yes. DP says maybe you can blur the offending second in this stream with YouTubers online editing gimmicks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, I haven't edited videos before, so I'm not sure how to do that. To do that, it's going to be like 2 hours. To try to explore, find how to do it. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, so some of these maps. Okay, close. Okay, let's go to next topic then. Gulliver's Travels. Tactile keyboard. Shall we talk about keyboard, or shall we talk about JavaScript and other things? Let me know. Okay, so here I'm going to show you a trackball. This. Okay, so I need to go to my website in order for the video to show. Okay, so Xali trackball spin. So you can see all trackballs, which one spins. If you are buying a trackball, the one thing you want, that's the best thing, is if it can spin. Like if you push it, it'll spin for a few seconds. If it spins forever, that's the best. But no trackball actually does that. Well, there's this one prototype. It's fantastic. Okay, so refresh. So let's see what's on Discord chat forum. Laputa. So Laputa is one word plus safe search works for me. One duck duck go. Oh, one word safe search. Okay. Um, so you see, someone built a prototype of a spinning trackball. So I guess you guys cannot hear it, right? But anyway, so they got this ball. You push it, it just spins like for 10 seconds. It's fantastic. But I'm not sure what is the status of this trackball. It seems nobody has made it. But anyway, so I have collected videos of all trackballs showing how much they spin. For example, here's another one, and I rank them. This is the second best. You see, now if you can hear the sound, then you can see it actually spins quite freely. But this one is hard to buy. It's like I think it's $150 or $200. It's hard to buy. It's not on Amazon. So I have collected several of these trackballs and how much they spins. Perpetual spinning trackball. Yeah, that would be nice. Okay, so that's about trackball. So JavaScript or keyboard. Okay, so I'm just going to go random then. So tactile keyboard. There's a news about this keyboard. This is a do-it-yourself keyboard, and I've tried this keyboard for 1 minute at a keyboard meetup in San Francisco. I met the guy, and this is, I would say, is one of the best. This one is actually better than my Kinesis. I think it's better than the one I have. This one is commercial. It's better because the thumb keys are more fitting to my thumb, at least for a small hand. And this is extremely light, very elegant. So I like this one very much. I find it fantastic. So this is a do-it-yourself keyboard, so you can build it. You go to, he's got a video talking about how he created this keyboard from scratch. And so I met him, at keyboard meetup. I tried it. It's fantastic. And he has a website where you go there and you can find all the build information. You can buy the parts and build it yourself. But what's new is that you actually can buy it now, pre-built, everything built for you by going into this link. Good morning, Bart. So you go. So now you can buy it for $350. You can buy it. Okay, you need to turn on JavaScript. Yeah. When I'm doing streaming, everything becomes slow. I have to wait. So you can buy it, and you can buy. There are several variations. You can also buy this one. This one is called tactile manu foam. Okay, so let me show you the pictures. Tactile manu foam. Sound Talk Show. So you have tactile like that. Then you have tactile manu foam like that, where they put the thumbs. You have to press it like that. Instead of pressing it downwards, you press it inwards. They think this way is better. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, so this is a variation. And you can buy it now. $350 pre-built. Now I don't know who created this website, so I'm not sure how trustworthy it is. I think it works. So anyway, so you can buy. That's about that. It's a news. So Justin's good morning, Justin. What do you think of the Brave browser cryptocurrency? I don't know much about it. I haven't looked into. They created a way so that wallet operation failed. Try again. I think I turned it off. Something like that. I haven't looked into, and I should, because actually they have promotion where, for example, I can put links to Brave browser, and if people use it, I put links on my website. If people use it, I get paid. I get money. But I haven't done that. And also, they have this program. Basically, Brave browser is trying to do a uh, revolutionize ads the way ads are running on websites, because today, as you know, we are very annoyed by ads, especially Google. Google is becoming extremely evil. Google, because they used to be do no evil, right? And their ads used to be, for example, let's go to sorry, JavaScript, okay? Or you go to my JavaScript website. I'm using Google Ads. I make some money, and you turn on JavaScript. Okay, so I have, Brave browser has ad blocker built in, so you won't see ads with Brave. You have to go here, then you create a new window and paste my link JavaScript. Then you can see Google Ads plastered all over the place. Like this repetition, like right in the middle. Repetition too. This is what, in the beginning, like 10 years ago, Google specifically wanted to avoid this, because Google's they are chanting, we are the good people, we are the good guys. Yes, we do ads, but because people need to survive, the content creators, and we do it in a non-intrusive way, things like that. That's their marketing blurb. That's their chant, and that is why many of us supported them. And now they become these, blast your ads right in the middle, like twice. Like if you go some of my page, it's worse. For example, JavaScript basics. So ads, ads, and if you are using a phone to access this website, it's far worse, because when you are using a phone, the screen is small and they have ads all over. Like then you have to press a button to shrink the ads. Like to they don't even actually you cannot even shrink the ads. I mean, they have a button so that the ads it becomes a drawer, like a slider. It slides back so that you so the thinking is that you can press it again, the ads will come back, like in case you need to watch the ads again. The fucking Google. So you might be thinking, why don't I remove the frequency of ads? I did that, because I don't want this. So I go to Google website. I try to redo them. I want to less ads. And they still doing that. They have a slider that says how intrusive you want to be. So I want to be the normal, not intrusive, and this is a result. Extreme evil. So Google Ads, what else we were talking about? So let's go back to Brave. So I was saying, so Brave is trying to solve the ad problem, not by the open source niche thing. That goes nowhere forever. So I recommend you guys to support Brave. Okay, this is a commercial organization trying to solve the ad problem. You have to pay. I mean, you have to support it for society to change. Supporting open source and free software, the niche things, they never work. We've been doing that for the past 30 years. So Brave is trying to do something about it. So they have blocking built in. You don't have to install ad blocking, But however, they try to. So where do web creators, content creators, how they get paid? So they have these kind of, you might call it micro payment mechanism. So every day you visit, you use Brave to visit websites. They tally like what, which website you visit the most often. Then you can pay. It's optional. You can start to. I have it turned off. You can turn it on. Then every month you pay automatically to the website you visit the most often. Things like that. And they are using cryptocurrency. BAT. They call it BAT something. I haven't looked into. Basic attention token. Yes. How long does it take to get used to a keyboard like that? The kinesis, well, it takes like I would say a month. Okay, if you type every day, if you use the keyboard every day, 1 month will be good. 1 month will be you'll be pretty good with it. 2 months to be truly fluent, I would say. But also, when you learn touch typing, of course, if you use this type of keyboard ergonomic, then you have to start to do touch typing. You have to learn touch typing because otherwise it's not suitable for hunt and peck. You have to learn proper touch typing, which is very easy. Um, so let's read the comments. How much do you pay? All day long, very every day. All day long, every day. So I'm also used to Mac keyboard. It's extension of my soul. Mac keyboard is the worst with respect to ergonomics. So do you have any repetitive strain injury issues? I guess not. So bottom is it should take you a week max. Maybe it takes longer than a week. I would say maybe I'll get over by sometimes. Learning emacs was awkward for a week. I for one, DP says, I for one never got paid per line of code written. Since adopting Ruby philosophies, the opposite is true. Uh, okay, not by lines of code. Okay. The lines of code, the concept of lines of code is the most extreme idiotic concept that is widely spread in programming community. Where does it came from? Unix. Fuck Unix. Okay. Why? Because Unix, the operating system, and the community and C, they began the concept of lines. Everything should be lines, line oriented. So when you have a line longer than 80 characters, many Unix utilities they just simply truncate it, like cut it off without warning or anything. That is Unix in the 1980s and 1990s. They simply cut it. So if you do PS, the Unix shell to PS, and PS, okay, AUW, PSAUWWX. Okay, so that's Unix. That's Unix PS command. Okay, it shows all your processes. Now you see many of these lines are super long. You see this is like 1,000 characters or 500 characters. This is today on Mac. Okay, but in the 1980s, 1990s, when the line is more than 70 or 80 characters, it just disappear. It just cut off. Fuck Unix. This is the Unix philosophy. This is how it began. The Unix people philosophy, Linux people, they got brainwashed. They never, they don't see this. I mean, they see it, but they ignore. It's like propaganda. You don't. It's like today's political news. You don't think. It just don't come up in your brain. Meanwhile, every day you are chanting, "Oh, Unix philosophy." Everything should be Unix philosophy. Okay, so this is an example of PS tool. It just truncate. It doesn't happen now because now it's 30 years after. If they still truncate, people gonna go crazy. But so this is, and this is also true for tar. Basically, all Unix commands and email. It became a email standard, email protocol. RFC something something. So I have like 5 or 10 articles about line truncation. So search for Xali line truncation. Okay, so why am I saying about line truncation? Because the lines of code. Okay, the lines of code is, so my claim is that the concept of lines of code is the most idiotic concept as a metric to measure how large is a program. Okay, that's common. Everyone knows it's common. You measure how big is a software, how complex is a software. One of the easy, most common ways how many lines of code. Okay, that's one thing. Now I'm saying that measure is the most idiotic way to measure how complex is a software. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now another thing I'm saying is that the lines of code, where does the why does that concept became popular? I'm claiming it's because Unix philosophy created this. Because because in Unix everything is, you go by lines, because one of the Unix philosophies, everything is a file. Anyway, you go by lines like grep, and all that tool. Um, Okay, so this is one of the big problems. It has significant consequences to this day. It harm, so I mentioned a few things. Let me write it down so it's clear. So I guess today we become this topic of line truncation Unix. Okay, let me write it down. Okay, what we are talking about. So one is that lines of code. Okay, number of lines of code as a measure is a common metric, you say metric, of how complex or big of a software. Okay, that's one thing. Now this is, lines of code is the most idiotic metric. Okay, that's what I say. And lines of code originates from Unix. Okay, Unix in 1980s and 1990s silently truncate lines that's beyond 70 or 80 chars, including PS, tar. Like when you do a tar, when you have a directory, the full path is more than 100 something characters. Then you tar those directories. Then all those file paths will be truncated. So when you untar it, everything is fucked up. For example, if you have a directory of HTML files, they have links, local links like that. They link to each other. But now you tar and untar, all the links doesn't work because the file name is no longer correct because tar truncated them. Fuck Unix. This happened up to including 2002. Okay, so because why? I have lots of articles and backup about these issues. For example, you can see one, two, three articles, more than 3 articles. There's a significant consequences about this Unix line and thing issue, like permeates to harm to the programming industry to this day. For example, so I was saying, PS truncates. Let's search for it. So let's show some of the articles. Unix RFC line truncation. Okay, so let me just type something quickly, and because I have quite a lot of things to say about this. Okay, so that's that, and email RFC. So because Unix truncate lines, so when they do email, in back then 1980s, 1990s, email is mostly sent through Unix servers. Okay, so when they do email, because Unix just truncate lines, so they they made the Unix way of truncating lines into the email protocol. So basically, for the email spec, they say lines should not be more than 70 characters. They say that in the email protocol because the Unix fuck cannot handle it. So they tell everyone this is the way. From now on, email should be only 70 characters. Today, you don't hear that much more. Because it just gradually, it's idiotic, right? Anyone you talk to today will know it's extreme idiotic concept. You truncate lines, and it has great consequences to this day. Like Emacs, in Emacs, if you have a long line, let's say 10,000 characters, one single long line, 10,000 characters, Emacs freezes. Okay, this does not happen in other editors, but Emacs freeze. Why? Because the Unix way, Emacs mostly grew up from the Unix environment. Richard Stallman hated Unix, but that's another story. But anyway, Emacs grew from the Unix environment. So in Unix, people do not have long lines. It just became a habit. Programmers do not have long lines, so you don't have a problem. But today it's different because today, if you visit many of the website, for example, DuckDuckGo, you look at the source code, Command Option U. Let's look at the source code. Okay, you see this is one single line. Many websites are doing this one single line, including Google, Microsoft since 10 years ago. So you copy this, you go to Emacs, I open a new buffer. Now if I paste that, Emacs is gonna be very slow. Yeah, I might have to force quit it. Let's see what happens. I paste the line. Okay, paste. Okay, so go back. Okay, this is pretty short. I mean, this is fits one page, one screen. This is not too big. So anyway, so it still works. But if, for example, if I can copy this line, paste it again, copy the line, paste, copy the line, paste. Now, okay, so now if I move cursor up, Emacs takes half a second to move it up. You see? Let's magnify. You see? Cursor up, half a second to move it up. Okay, now let's copy the whole thing. Copy, paste. Let's double it. Let's say I press up arrow. You see, now it takes more than 1 second to page up, to arrow up. Let's move cursor backward. Let's see how long it takes. Okay, so it's still okay. So anyway, this happens a lot when today many website, this happens. So anyway, let's close it. So consequence, harmful. So what are the harmful consequences of the Unix way of truncating lines? For example, email spec says everybody must truncate lines. Okay, the problem of email quoting. Today we use the greater than equal sign to quote what other people said, right? That became a convention. Where does this convention came from? It came from Unix, because in bash prompt, how do you use echo? Okay, echo something. How do you start cat Okay, anyway, the Unix prompt, it came from that convention, Unix prompt. And what's the problem? So what is the problem using this greater than equal sign to quote things? The problem combined with the line truncation is that often you have several levels of quote, like, and that is extremely hard to process because sometimes it mess up. That's, you probably have seen this before. You have experienced it before. Not much today, but let's say 10 years ago, you have seen, sometimes the quotation doesn't work. Like it mix up some quote and other people's quote into one, things like that. It's a pain in the ass. What really should happen is that you should use a matching pair to quote. This is the proper way. Actually, so many consequences, and and another big consequence is the design of programming languages that are line oriented. We have this up to today. This began with C. Okay, we have this up today. For example, one of the big major harm is the JavaScript. JavaScript, you have the semicolon, that's optional, but JavaScript did it so bad that it's a well-known issue, very bad. Um, and so I blame that on the line truncation and the Unix convention that created that problem. Not simply because JavaScript did it wrong. Anyway, so many programming languages today, they are line oriented, and the concept, why is that bad? That's bad because if you when you have a line oriented programming language, that means the language appearance is hard coded. Okay, hard coded formatting. So what does that mean? That means such as ASCII diagram. For example, when you have a programming language and you have comments, sometimes people draw a box, like a header, things like that. So basically that means you are using ASCII. You are manually trying to align your characters, trying to draw boxes, or things like that. That's hard-coded formatting. You don't want that. What you want is a markup, such as Markdown, such as orgmod, such as HTML. So once you have a markup syntax, it's flexible. You can display, you can render it. For example, for HTML, you can have CSS that changes how things are rendered. For markup, Markdown, orgmod, you can have a program that converted to any other format you want just by pressing a key. So these are all consequences of the line-oriented formatting that begin with Unix. There's a lot. So here's the article: hard wrap, 70 characters from punch cards, a crime. Okay, so why 70 characters? Where's the origin? Because punch cards has 70 holes. Okay, and another problem is line wrap. Today, for example, in Emacs you have hard wrap. For example, let me show you. You have this command that okay, so you see, okay, let's shrink. Let's shrink. So you see here we have a long line, but in Emacs you have this command called fill. Okay, it's idiotic name. Let's call it fill paragraph. Okay, so what it does is that it will truncate your lines. Let's show the space. Okay, so let me do this again. Paste, 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 paste. Okay, so I have one huge line. So in Emacs you can call fill paragraph. So what it does is that it will make every line less than 70 characters also. So with the 70 characters mindset from Unix, you for programmers you created, so every day every programmer started to do this manual formatting. It's a habit, it becomes a habit. Every programmer does the manual formatting. That's no good. You should not do that. You should have margin. Emacs doesn't have that. But anyway, in any editor you will see, in any text editor or word processor, you can have a margin. I didn't turn it on. For example, let's go to rich text. Okay, there you have it. You see, let's you have a margin concept. You see, even though this is one long line that will not fit your screen, but you have the margin concept. It can be, it will wrap. In Emacs, you also have that, but it's hard to do. I'm not going to call it. Actually, I can call it. Let's say novel reading. Actually, I'm not gonna do it. So anyway, there are huge number of consequences, harmful consequences. One of them is that it gets programmers to manually indent, also indentation. Like today, you have programmers manually indent every line. It's a fucking Unix. These are all consequences of the line-oriented thinking. So that's one consequence. And the Unix tar problem. In this page, I document the tar problem. In fact, you can see it mentioned in MySQL documentation, or was it Postgres? I don't know if I mentioned that in this article, but anyway, in the official documentation of MySQL or Postgres, they linked to one of my website where I document the tar problem. The tar just truncate lines. So for imagine if you are a database, admin, you work at Google. So you need to move your database, some gigabytes of thing. You tar it, you move to another machine, you untar it, then it all broke. It broke because tar truncated your fucking database. Uh, where's the link? I cannot. Let's say search. Okay, search xali tar SQL truncate, something like that. There it is. Okay, there it is. You see this article, server fault. SQL Server 2005 2008 does full backup truncate the log. Fuck Unix, fuck Linux. They don't talk about this, like, because back in for example, when I mentioned this in Unix forums, they ban you. That's what they do. So what is this saying? Do they actually link to my website or something? Okay. They didn't mention me, but I don't remember what's the deal. But anyway, there is from the official documentation, they mentioned on the Mac, one of my pages about that. Unix, tons of problems. But anyway, today we are focusing on the line truncation issue. So Unix tar problem, file length truncation, Unicode name support. What's about Unicode name support? I forgot. So here is another article. Okay, I was talking YouTube about that. XR Talk Show. Close that. There's quite a lot other issues, but where do I talk about that? Okay, here this article, MySQL reference manual 2.12.2 Mac OS X notes. Okay, now this website is gone, but I have a gzipped version. Let's click on that. Now this one is dated in 2002, I think. Okay, and here is another article: Essential Command Line Interface Tools for Mac OS X, 2003. So its article is also gone, and I also have a backup version. They are in gzip. Actually, I should redo them because okay, gzip. That's another thing changed in the browser. In the past 20 years. About 10 years ago, when you have a gz link, you click it, it will show in your browser. Okay, Google will just show it in the browser, not download. It will just show directly. But since about 7 years ago or so, it stopped doing that. It started to download. How do I know? Because once I realized, because back then 10 years ago, that this is why you have, I'm working on my website all the time. So 10 years ago, I discovered, if you have a gz file, you will show in the browser. So I started to make all my local archives into gzip file. So people can just click it and view it. But it just changed. It just changed. Now it's a problem because you see, for most people, when they download gz, they don't know what the fuck that is. A lot of people, they are not like us fanatics. Open source fanatics. They are tech geekers, hackers. They know, gz versus a bunch of others. They don't know what it is. So especially today, it's become less common. So DP says, DP says, to be fair, pkzip messed up my stuff more than once as well. Okay, I have retorts on that, but let's not go. So DP also says, so Unix is supposed to be blamed for the constraints of punch cards tech. Does not compute. It does. You see, so punch card, computing evolved from punch card, right? So if we look at computing, there's always progress needs to be made. There's always problems. We can't look back and say everything is perfect. But however, you see, the thing with Unix is that when it becomes computers, you are no longer punch cards. We can understand, okay, because of some backward compatibility. At some point, punch card to digital computer or electronic computer is not a clear-cut transition. Typically, computer technology progress is not like clear-cut. Like one day it's this, and next day it's everything changed. It's not like that. So it's gradual. So at some point in time, I don't know the details, but it's likely at some point in time, punch cards are gradually being replaced. And meanwhile, during those times, there are machines that needs to read punch card and also has terminals, something other inputs, some things like that. Therefore, you need this compatibility thing. You need to be compatible with the old way. But the thing about Unix is that, they ignore. Okay, so we understand there's this compatibility issue, but as long as you move on, at some point you remove you remove the bad design and things like that, right? But that's not the case. That's my point. That's not the case with Unix. In fact, they are the people. They don't. In fact, they never mention a punch card. Okay, when Unix people back in 1990s, they chant about Unix philosophy and truncate lines. They don't even mention truncate lines. They just, that's just the way they live. Okay, they don't know where it came from. They don't know. They don't talk about it. They just chant about all the great things of Unix philosophy. That's the point. If you have an opinion that's different, they ban you. That is the key point. That is my main point. Why these Unix people are fuckheads. Okay, that is my main point. You see, I understand all technology has problems. Maybe you don't have enough people, you don't have enough resources, including Microsoft, or you just made a mistake, human mistake, things like that. That is not my complaint about Unix fuckheads. They are the people intentionally push a kind of a agenda, fake news. That's what they do. Unix people. That is my point. You have the people like Eric's Eric Raymond, ESR, Eric S. Raymond. He's one of the primary guy that pushes the Unix philosophy. Fuck. This problem. You have tons of problems. Okay. Um. Okay. So today is kind of a rant, and that's So how long I've been talking? So Scott is saying something. I cannot read when I'm doing YouTube videos. So how long have I been talking? Uh, Gulliver's Travels. Where is my YouTube page? Okay, that's on Google Chrome. 1 hour and 6 minutes. Okay, that's about it. So DP says most DOS commands still assume an 80 character wide console. Okay, that's another valid retort. Okay, but I have retort to that retort. Okay, you see, Microsoft, you can blame all problems of Microsoft all you want, but you see, understand that Microsoft is a commercial entity. Okay, well, what so is Unix. Okay, uh, how do I say this? Okay, so my Microsoft, they got a lot of problems. Okay, it's not Microsoft was not better than Unix. Back then. In the 1990s. Microsoft didn't begin until late 1980s, right? They got problems. They Microsoft, and also they are commercial, so they are trying to, uh, especially. Anyway, they do have problems. But what I'm saying, my point is about the Unix people. The Unix people, they are a cult. That is my point. Okay, they are a cult. They have this Unix philosophy. I mean, the very jargon itself, Unix philosophy, pushing for their kind of basically false propaganda. That is my point. Yes, Microsoft has problems in they technology in the beginning not so great, or things like that. You all have problems. Mac OS got problems. Okay, but it is with the Unix code. It's a code. That's what I'm saying. That is my main point. They created the Unix philosophy crap. The fake news, false. They push it, and if you do not agree, they ban you. That is my point. This is strong. If you are back, you may know about that. It's a code. Everyone know about that. It's not a controversial. It's not a debatable. Unix is a code. That is my point. They ban you if you disagree, just like emacs. They have banned me because I said you should change the name meta keys to something, because that would be better. They disagree and they ban you. I say, for example, in 2006, I say emacs key binding sucks. Emacs key binding creates repetitive strain injury. Today, most people will understand, it's accepted. But back then in 2006, people ban you if you say don't use Emacs default keys. They ban you. That's what they do. It's a code. That is my point. Okay, once you have a code, you create a lot harmful things. And today my focus is about the line truncation. That is my point. Okay, line truncation created lots of problems. It was, line creates like perpetual harmful things in industry, even today. The tar problem, the PS problem, counting software by lines of code, uh, and stop. It stops creating programming languages that's in the right direction, because every language is just line based. Every language, including Golang is line based. I can show you examples. For example, let's open a new buffer, magnify, save this file is xx.go, okay, a temp file, okay. Then I type go, then I have a template, okay. Now I can run this program. It prints 33, right? Now this is a Go program. Now Go program has a Go language comes with it a tool called Go format, okay. For example, I can screw up the formatting here. For example, I can still run it, okay. I run it, 33, okay, it's still valid, okay. This is a valid program, but I can call Go format, okay. It's a command line tool, but I have a emacs wrapper command to it, so I can call it by just pressing keys. Look, okay, I just called Go format. You see, you can see the command name on the left window. So it formats the whole file for you. Okay, so this is fantastic. Rob Pike, Go language. I love Go language. They started to fix many of the problem from the Unix philosophy. Kind of, they created that. One of the problem they fixed is that they eliminated all the manual formatting thing. Eliminated it. Okay, that's a great thing. That's one of the reasons I love Go format. But however, there is a residue from the Unix philosophy, line truncating fuck. Okay, the line by line based programming language design, which Golang is one of them. Why? Because let me show you an example. So Go format is supposed to format your code. You see, we have seen, from this, these two things in one line, we can call the Go format, and it becomes this, line by line, default line by line kind of formatting. Okay, but it's got a problem. Let me show you. So let's do this again. Okay, let's do this. Let's put the whole thing into one line. Okay, now we put the whole thing into one line. Let's run it to see if it's still valid syntax. Run it. It's correct. Okay, it returns 33. You see, so this is valid. Now let's call Go format. Let's see what happens. You see this? It failed to reformat it to the default, the canonical Go way. It failed in this part. You see why? Well, I don't know why, technical detail why, because but my guess is that my guess. So what happens? What happens is that the Go format has the ability to reformat a single long line into several short lines. Okay, it has that ability, but it is not 100%. Okay, it does, like, I don't know exactly why, when it does not happen, but you can see from this example, when you call Go format, it doesn't break it into it doesn't reformat into it like that. So why is that? Because I only have a short example here. If you have a long program, I've done it before. It will not reformat your long lines. Okay, some lines will become long and like that. One long line. So it failed in some cases to change long line into short lines. Why? I would say it's because the remnant of the the line based somewhere. Okay, because the line based formatting, the Go itself is still line based language. The Go syntax is still basically line by line. You need the semicolon. Okay, and also it's optional. It's well designed, so it's not like JavaScript. But anyway, so why does anyone wants to have a formatter that change long lines. Why does anyone wants a one long line in the first place? Many reasons. Okay, for example, we have seen HTML. We have seen. Let's look at the source code of this page. YouTube. Okay, we have seen the DuckDuckGo example, but let's look at the YouTube source code. There are many reasons you want one single line. Okay, so you see, this is a huge page. Okay, now we can select all. Okay, let me select all. It's this page is huge, so I guess let's see, select all. Okay, now it's select. Okay, this is really big file because it's taking a long time to even do anything. So select all again. It'll take 3 seconds. Okay, now copy, switch to emacs. Wait, it's a rainbow of death. Let's copy again. Copy, okay, switch to emacs, open a new buffer, paste. Okay, 4,000 lines. Now let's go to the top. Okay, let's move arrow down. Okay, it's not too bad. Okay, so why do you want sometimes you want one line? Because, for example, here is an actual practical example. Why do they want, why do they put all this this is JavaScript and CSS into one line? They have reasons. Okay, for example, one of the common reason is that you can minify the code so it's smaller than size. So when you transmit, it's smaller than size. Things like that. And you see, many of these lines are one single long line. You see, this is a JavaScript, one single long line. So let me switch to HTML, ascii HTML mod. Okay, so anyway, so let's magnify. You see, here is a JavaScript. This is one long line. This is one long line, and things like that. And here you have another long line. There are many reasons to have a long line. For example, here is a CSS style sheet. It's one giant fucking line. Okay, this line is, for example, copy it, open a new buffer, paste, select all, call count words. So it's 7,000 characters. Okay, this single line is 7,000 characters. Many reasons. And okay, so this is a CSS file. So now let's switch to CSS mod. Okay, xar CSS mod. Okay, xar CSS mod. There it is. Okay, magnify. Okay, now let's remove the HTML style tag. Okay, now this is a pure CSS syntax. Now what I want to do is I want to press one key. I wanted to reformat the whole thing into the proper format. You cannot do that. Okay, it's a problem. Why can't you do that? Because today we have AI. We have robotics. We have fucking this or that AI engines. Why cannot you have a tool in an editor, in the most fucking powerful editor? You cannot change the whole thing into just reformat. You cannot. And this concept is not actually common across programming languages in editors. For example, right now you copy this CSS one single line. Try it in your favorite editor, in VS Code, in Visual Studio, in whatnot. Fuck. Okay, Atom, Slime, the Sublime, whatever. Fuck your favorite editor, Xcode. By default, there is no command or no tool to reformat a single long line. Okay, in general, there is no built-in. Okay, we are talking about built-in tool or command in any common popular editor to reformat 90% of programming languages. That's in one line to single lines. So what I'm saying is that this concept is simply not popular. Why? Because the Unix line-based ideology, the idea that because programmers do not ever think about long lines, because programmers are habituated to, you always line should not be, more than 70 characters. That is why. So that here is an example, in my opinion, my claim. It's a damage to software industry because otherwise, without the fucking Unix code, we would have in every editor built in a command that you press a button. Let me show. Let me first of all, you press a button, it formats into single long line. Press the button again, it becomes line by line. Okay, let me first of all try to make this nice to be. So what we do is that we replace the end curly brace, the curly bracket, to replace it by with a line return. Okay, so replace all. So that's one step. We need to do another step by okay, replace that by with a new line. Okay, now that's better. Now let's replace all semicolon by semicolon with a new line. Okay, now this is much better. This is the way we want. Okay, this is more typical. Okay, they are using this complicated style of CSS. You have like tens of classes here. But anyway, so my point is that there is no tool to do this, to change in between. And that's a consequence of the line oriented mindset that is embedded into every programmer today. It's like, if you do not do it, many, like right now, if I go to Twitter, I say, you should not cut your lines at every 80 characters. You'll get a bunch of flames. People will immediately say, oh no, you are wrong, because visually, human eyes needs to be this or that. Complete idiot. That thing is solved by auto wrap. The margin we talked about. But you see, the problem is once you have a code with this embedded concept, they stop thinking. They cannot. Their brain stops working. They cannot think anymore. Because when you if I go to Twitter right now, say that you should not, lines should not be forced into 70 characters. Immediately, you'll get a bunch of replies, including many of my followers. They'll say, "Oh, actually, Xa, I like your opinions, but you are wrong here, because we need 70 characters, because otherwise, it's too long. Human eyes cannot do that. It's a visual. It's a problem." That's idiotic, because that thing is solved by margin. Look at this margin, okay, idiot. And also look at, you go to Discord, you go to Twitter, you go to Gmail. You don't you don't press enter every time your lines goes to the right side. Because it's automatic. That's the way things should be. But in programming, programmers are still like trying to manually do it. So the reason they don't think is because it has, because the Unix philosophy is a code. It has become a code. Programmers are unable to think, whatever the code touches anymore. So that's my point. So actually, back to the Go format. So Go format, you call that, it doesn't do this. Why? It's a problem. And also, why do you want a language? You should have a programming language that's not line oriented. Okay, so actually I've been talking for long, so I think I should stop now. Okay, let's see some comments, and we stop in 2 minutes or so. Yeah. Uh, so to be fair, okay. So most stars commands, never mind. I agree. Go format is a step in the right direction. Rust also has a auto formatting feature. On the other hand, CBC beautifier goes way back. Yeah, you have a bunch of that so-called linked tools, but they are kind of idiotic. Okay, in the same way, you have lots of those tools, but the thing about those tools is that they do not change the fundamental, the idiocy of the line oriented format. Okay, rather they are piggyback. They make things worse. Okay, these tools like beautifiers, tidy, the lint. You have bunch of those. Then you have JavaScript versions and so on. They are like, first of all, you begin with shit. The line truncation shit. Okay, then you try to pile on top of it. That's what Unix do. You have the shell, boom shell, C shell, then you have bash, then Z shell, then fish, new shell. It's like it goes on forever because fundamentally you got something wrong. At the bottom. Then you have the C, then fucking C plus plus come up, then Java, C sharp, C, then that it's like that. That's all from Unix. Fuck, Unix philosophy. Fuck. C and Unix, they bootstrap each other without, they are together and bootstrap each other. So you are saying beautifier. So they don't fix the problem. Rather they, so what they do is like, so first of all, you have the line truncation, right? Then you tell programmers every line should be no more than 70 characters, deeply embedded into their brain. Okay, that's a bad idea. Okay, so programmers manually, press return, or they worry about each line on every line. Fucking eat fuck. Then the Unix fuckheads created this lint. They have this jargon lint or beautifier or tool tries to automate that concept. Okay, so you run the lint program on your source code. So whenever a line is more than 70 characters, they automatically add a new line, a new line to your code. You truncate it, not truncate, but they automatically do that. So to them, they think, oh my God, Unix is fantastic. We have automation. We even created automated tool. That's what they are thinking. But to me, it's a fucking shit on top of another shit. You should not have that in the beginning. Lines should be long, can be long, okay, can be 1,000 characters, no problem. In your editor, you just create a soft wrap, okay. That is the point. You're the fucking idiots, the Unix fuckheads. So DP says that's one statement block, which is okay to put into one line. It's idiom, not really, not so, because you could, you know, I don't have other examples offhand right now, but in Golang, if you code more, you're this. I think okay, I'm not too sure, but I think this is true. Basically, my point. Basically, Go format it is not 100%. We will not do it 100%. It's not about because you could sometimes you will have like very long lines. The Go format will not format it into separate lines. I don't know exactly why that happens. Possibly it's because of flaw in Go format. Because most people will never begin with one long lines in the first place. Because Unix, programmers have been, brainwashed to never do that. So you will rarely see such examples. So therefore, it doesn't come up as a bug. Maybe it's a bug in Go format, or maybe possibly it's Go format intentionally did that. For certain long lines, they don't do that, but I don't think that's the case. Because one thing for sure is that it's not true that when you call Go format, something ends up in one line. That's because they intentionally intentionally think that's actually should be one line. That's not true. That is not true for all. Because for example, even in this example, that is not, Go programmers do not consider this to be well formatted. Go programmer would consider this to be the way, to be the canonical way. So I think it's a bug in Go format, or I don't know exactly. But my blame is basically it's all came from the Unix philosophy, the line oriented fuck. And also, when remember we talked about why line oriented programming language syntax is not so good. For example, one of the example is Python. Python went all the way to have the hard formatted appearance. So they made they made the line return semantically significant in Python. And because of Python, then you started have a bunch of these CSS templates, JavaScript, HTML templates tools. For example, SAS or Waymo or something. A bunch of them. Mustache. That's based on the Python's layout oriented syntax, which is very bad because once you hard code your syntax, then there is no, you cannot have the concept of renderers or automatic formatting, because if you have a markup based syntax, then you can format in any way you want automatically. You can even render it. You can even add semantic meaning like HTML or XML. You can churn out in any format you want. But once you have a hard coded formatting, you are fixed into that one thing, and typically it's manually intensive. Programmers, you have to type them manually. Okay, so I think that's it for today. 15 watches. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna shut down in 1 minute. So we were talking about something else. Then it became the Unix flame. Inevitable. This is my big thing. I've been flaming this is on my heart for since about 1999. I've been fighting with these Unix fuckheads for 10 years, 20 years now. The Unix people, they did huge damage. Like we have seen the line the line of number of lines way of counting. You know yeah, okay, let me continue on that. I was kind of unorganized all over. But so why do you want not line based syntax? Because it's my claim, because the Unix line truncation today, we have almost all languages are line oriented syntax. Their syntax is all line oriented. Now Lisp is the exception. Okay, we talked about this in one of my videos. Lisp and Mathematica syntax, they are not line oriented. Okay, Lisp. And in Mathematica, you can have your entire source code, 1 million lines in one single line. Okay, single physical line. You just press a button, then it will be reformatted, displayed, in nicely in the canonical format. Okay, you don't have to worry about anything. Just press one button, reformat it, and it's trivially done because the Mathematica has a regular syntax. There's one video I talk about that for 1 hour. So that is the power. So why can Mathematica can do that? Because in order to do that, your syntax needs have something built in. It needs has it needs to be a unit, okay, syntactical unit oriented syntax, okay, not line based. In Golang and C fuck, the syntax, Golang is based on C syntax. The syntax is somewhat line based, but somewhat not. Okay, some part of it is line. What I mean by when you have a programming language syntax, you can say you have the concept of syntactical unit. So what does that mean? A syntactical unit is a part of the syntax, the smallest part that has meaning, that has semantic, meaningful semantically. Okay. So for example, you could say this in Golang. For example, this is one syntactical unit. Okay, this is one syntactical unit, and okay, so this is one syntactical unit, and this is one syntactical unit. Okay, but however, if you look at them, some of them are line based, some of them are not. For example, this package main is line based syntactical unit. Import is line based syntactical unit. The function syntax is not, because you because it's kind of it's irregular. You have this word, then you have these curly braces, the curly brackets. It's not line based. Okay, it's not line based. But this part is again line based. The format printf is line based syntactical unit. So in C based syntaxes, part of it is kind of line based, line oriented, but part of it is not. So it's just a fucked up fuck. Okay. But anyway, so if you have a language that's where you design the syntax such that the whole language is syntactic, the syntax has clear syntactical units such as Mathematica and Lisp. Lisp is an example, okay, except the common syntax, but otherwise it's pretty much syntactical unit based language. Once you have that, then it's trivial to write a program to pass your entire source code and reformat it to any other way you want. Another such example is XML. You can in XML editors, you can press a button, reformat the entire thing in one single line or in multiple lines. Trivial. Okay, anyone can write a program without studying, knowledge about parsers, things like that. When your syntax is irregular, such as C, then you start to worry about a lot of knowledge about parsers and stuff. So that is my point about why you want a programming language. You want a syntax to be based on the concept of syntactical units. Okay, and vast majority of language today are not Haskell, not C, C++, Java, C#, or the C derived languages, JavaScript, and not PHP, not Perl, not Python, not Haskell or Camel or any of the fancy language, not NIM. Okay, it's all crap. They are all kind of like they are all kind of like C. Okay, most part of it are line based syntactical unit. They don't have the concept. The bottom line is that they don't have the concept of syntactical unit that is foreign to them. Why? Because the Unix philosophy created this situation. Programmers do not know. They are not aware there is such a thing. The Unix philosophy That is why you see. So I'm talking about why I hate it so much. You see my expressions against Unix. These are the reasons, because to me the Unix has done huge damage to the industry. So I like to say Unix and C, everything wrong in programming industry began with Unix and C. And today we are only covering one part of it, about the line truncation. and there are consequences. That's what we're talking about today. So one of the major consequences is today you don't have you almost don't have any language that where the syntax is based on the concept of syntactical units. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, donate. Okay, you go to xali.info. There's my Patreon and stuff. Bye, guys.